Hello, Maria. Nice to have you on this call. How are
Hello,
you?
hello, Myroulla. It's nice to get in touch again. It's always a pleasure.
Good. First of all, I want to thank you for being so willing to join me in this call so that you can share your experience working with me. And I would like to ask you, what made you decide actually book with me in the first place?
I wanted to develop more my skills, but also to go through some of the difficulties I had on several occasions, and this made me to get in touch with you, and I have benefited a lot through this more than a year that we've been developing myself and all the other things that I had to deal with.
Okay. Actually, what was happening in your life or your business at the time that you decided to join me?
First of all, I had one big project, so I had to organize myself to be able to give the best, because I always try to give the best to my clients, but also to have not to de-stress myself and work with the anxiety and the mindset in order to develop a better relationship with myself and my skills and with my clients. And secondly, I had a death that I had to deal with, which was a very close friend of mine. Quite a sudden death, I mean, in 4 months. So that was quite a big thing for me, which we have worked on it, and I have reached a balance.
Would you like to share with us in detail how did it feel? What was it like to have this sudden death, and how was your life affected when this showed up and stressed you? And how long did it lasted for you before you did it was happening in your life before you decided to contact me?
The sudden death was also it was during the COVID, so I think everything was related to the fact that things are changing in everybody's life, and having someone dying and not being able to be there, and trying to cope with everything else, created a feeling that is no use of going on and trying to develop further one's self when something like that happens. So I felt like, okay, I'm going in a mute mode kind of thing. And that, I mean, only took me a week to realize that I was going into a place where I shouldn't be, or a place where I needed to come out from. So I reached out and called you, and we worked on it, and it was amazing.
Okay. Did you try to fix it by yourself or with anything else before you reach out to me? I know it was only a week.
No.
Okay. What were your thoughts about this? Actually, you joined me for this, but then you joined in for when you reach out for the death. And then I suggested that you could join the 28-day program so that we can go through and deal with the anxiety that caused by the death, but also maybe some emotions that were triggered around your life back then, right?
Yes.
What were your thoughts about coaching or emotional coaching before reaching out to me?
Due to the fact that through my life I've done a lot of different things, and I did a bit of psychology, and I've been reading and kind of having other either spiritual people or people like Wayne Dyer, Robin Sharma, and other people. So I more or less had an idea of where I wanted to go. So I felt that I needed someone, a coach that can bring all these emotions and all these situations either from the past to see what's going on, to kind of realization. So it's also having to do a lot of work with one's self to realize these things, to bring them to the surface. So I think it's a teamwork. I felt it was a teamwork from myself and from you as my coach. And it was a great chemistry that brought about, I believe, a very good result. And meaning the result, I mean that I'm aware of what brought each situation and how I dealt with it. So I believe that now I'm more free. I have less baggage to move forward.
Yeah.
So I feel that whenever something comes in my life as a baggage, that I would want to bring it out and then remove it, I would always have a coach that I can reach out and assist myself to go further and develop more.
Yeah, actually, you're taking me to the next question, which is how would you describe the entire experience working with me? Just give us some details if you can.
It's just the conversation and the questions give a trigger, at least to me, that things were coming out, just flowing out. It wasn't a difficult task, but also I had to, from before, as I said, to realize where I want to go, having in mind the goal, the questions brought up, whatever was behind everything that was stopping me from moving forward.
Okay, and how do you feel now after working with me?
I feel more relief, free, more grounded. I had in other times in my life the tools, so I bring tools within my everyday to make me even more grounded and more set in my goals, but also whenever and in occasions where you have things disturbing you, to be able to bring to settle down, to see it what it is, and to handle it.
Mm-hmm. So when you think about your life now, what are you most looking forward to?
A balanced life, and to be able to handle whatever comes in my way in the best of my abilities without anxiety or control, or and to be more free generally.
Okay, and does it? What areas of your life have been impacted? Had a good impact, if it had a good impact, this program, working with together?
And my relationship with others, for once, where the controller, because I'm working in a business where I'm organized. I'm a leader, and I'm organizing people to deliver a project. So this sometimes I bring it into my personal life, so it becomes more of a controlling people, or because I have this skill where I know to reach a goal, you have to do these things. This shouldn't be part of the personal life. So now I know how the other people feel when I try to control the situation. So suggestions are more a better word to use now, and to let people be who they are, and accepting, and no expectations. Well, I think one of the biggest lessons is no expectations. It releases from myself.
Mm-hmm.
It releases me from having expectations, and it's just, I have a great feeling of being relaxed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What would you say to people who are putting off fixing their problems and frustrations, either in their personal life or business?
Whatever scares us is not always, we need to face it. If we face it, then we are free. So the longer we keep the familiar habit or the familiar situation, it's not setting us free. It's just prolonging the whole feeling, and it's not satisfying anymore.
Mm-hmm. If you look back to the death occasion, it was a close friend, as I very well recall, of course. And now that you have, we dealt with that and the grief and the loss, Mariamo, how do you hold this incident, this loss now in your, inside you, in your mind?
Yeah, I think this, I believe this loss gave me a freedom. I don't know if that sounds a bit weird, meaning that I'm not prolonging for things to do, and I don't prolong in calling people. Oh, I have the time to call, my aunt, or to see whatever, or to do this. So it's not always to be a professional and be out there. It doesn't mean that you have your personal life dismissed, mm-hmm. or lowered. So this is the gift that I had from this, if I can call it a gift. And also, and to communicate more with people that are a part of my life.
That's great. And one last question. What was the most important thing for you in achieving success while working with me? What was while working together, what was the most important thing for you in achieving success? I mean, what was the most important thing you got out of this time that we worked together?
Is no matter what, I'm moving forward, really. And I'm simplifying simplifying my life.
You mean simplifying your mindset and your mind,
In my
how
mind,
you deal with this? Okay.
yes, yeah, and not making scenarios about whatever happens. That person hasn't called me because, and I'm making an assumption. So the expectations, having no expectations, is a thing to really work at. I'm trying to work on it every day. Really.
Good. So it helped you with your mindset and overthinking. That's what you're telling us.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much, Mariamu.
You're welcome.
I'm sure we would be in touch, as always.
That's for sure.
Keep well. Have a great day.
You too, and have a great beginning your new office.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Maria. Thanks.
Bye.